Okay, so we are live. Hello everyone, कैसी है जनता? So we are here for a wonderful session which is in concern to space, environment and human race. Now the question is कि why we are covering this topic? Well, this is really very important because June 5th is World Environment Day, and when we talk of environment, space is connected to that, and we as humans are in habit of exploring space. But the question is why we are interested in space exploration, how it is connected to our environment, and what is the threat on the human race. So we thought of exploring the same thing, and we are here to share that piece of information with you all. So कैसी है जनता, कैसे हैं आप लोग? हेलो दगादू, हेलो नितिन, हेलो अभिज्ञान, हेलो कौशिक. Okay, so we are starting with the topic. It's a very short lecture, but a very interesting one. If you are interested in knowing about space, if all these things fascinate you, then you are at the right place because we are going to discuss some very wonderful things in concern to space and environment related to human race. Hello Aryan. Hello Shashi. How are you? Okay. So, well, you all must be knowing that these days a lot of information is available on internet in concern to कि space race कैसे शुरू हुआ था, how it all got started, how moon landing took place, how international space station was established, how a new space station is coming up, how Russia is also planning to launch a new space station. There is lot of information, right? But we are here with the selected one which will help you in understanding that why we are exploring space. Means इंसान को स्पेस में क्यों जाना है, उसको प्लैनेट्स पे लैंड क्यों करना है, उसको मून पे, उसको मार्स पे अपना घर क्यों बनाना है. लेट्स एक्सप्लोर दैट रीजन, राइट? चलिए. हेलो विजेता. ओके, वी आर मूविंग ऑन टू द फर्स्ट थिंग. Welcome to VOS. Vedantu Olympiad School is a place where you prepare for all your Olympiads so that you could represent India on the international level. Moving ahead, फटाफट बताइए, आइडेंटिफाई दिस ऑब्जेक्ट. इसको बताइए ये क्या है. हेलो सौरभ राज, क्विकली लेट मी नो, आइडेंटिफाई दिस ऑब्जेक्ट. ये क्या है? व्हाट इज दिस? व्हाट इज दिस? ये आपके सामने क्या है? Okay, so I can see people are saying that it is ISS. Absolutely right. It is International Space Station. International Space Station, which is a venture of the collaboration of lot many nations. So it is ISS, that is International Space Station. Now, if you will read this, every word has gotten importance. It is a modular space station. What do you mean by modular space station? Modular space station means it has been constructed in parts. Like now China is constructing its space station and again parts are getting attached. So it's a modular means you can go for attaching more parts to the same main system, right? And there is a duct through which all these means movements took place from one part of the space station to the other, right? जिसको docking बोलते हैं. So two different parts connect with each other with the help of docking. Now, it is a place in the space and it is a habitable artificial satellite. Means वहाँ पे scientists experiment करते हैं, वहाँ पे रहते हैं. But why? What they are doing in space? Means क्या जरूरत है वहाँ जाके experiment करने की? Why can't they do those experiments on Earth? Please let me know. Means why scientists are so much interested in doing experiments in space station? Why can't they do the same on the Earth? Any answers? Any answers from your side? And as the statement says, it's a collaborative, means ISS is a collaborative thing by NASA, which is from United States, means उनकी space agency है. Roscosmos, which is from Russia, JAXA from Japan, ESA from Europe and CSA from Canada. Right? तो इनका collaboration है. तो देखिए आपको यहाँ पे कभी चाइना या इंडिया नजर नहीं आ रहा. Right? So that's why China is interested in launching its own space station. But अभी के लिए any idea why scientists are so much interested in doing experiments in at International Space Station? Well, the thing is the conditions over there are totally different. Here there is a effect of gravity, temperature, pressure, all things are different. Now when we talk of International Space Station, it is an artificial satellite which is heavily protected. Heavily protected means बहुत अच्छे तरीके से उसको इंसुलेट कर रखा है ताकि अगर कोई सोलर फ्लेयर्स वगैरह आए तो उससे वो बच के रहे. बट अगेन देयर आर मेनी अनप्रिडिक्टेबल थिंग्स विच आर हैपनिंग इन स्पेस, जिसके लिए बहुत बार हम तैयार नहीं होते. राइट, चलिए. So moving ahead, now tell me, this is what is the name of the new space station of China. Now as you have just seen that the previous space station, International Space Station, is a collaboration of different nations in which China is not there. That's why recently China has launched its own space station. So could you please tell me the name of the space station of China? Okay, so the name is Tianhe. Okay, very good. That's awesome. Very good. So that is absolutely right. We are talking of Tiangong space station, or the Chinese large modular space station. Again the word modular is there. Right, now if you see the core module means the system to which rest of the parts will be getting docked. That is Tianhe, जो आप अभी पोस्ट कर रहे थे, which also means the harmony of the heavens. A very important question, right, I would say. And it was launched on 29th of April 2021, यानी कि इसी ईयर कुछ दिन पहले या मंथ पहले ये लॉन्च हुआ था. एंड देन द सेकंड पार्ट वाज सेंट which created a record of speed, means in the fastest speed it got docked with the Chinese space station, and that thing was done on 30th of May. So you can see how fast China is working in establishing its own space station. Not only that, it has got a robotic arm also. But the question is, why space station is required? Well, space station, as we already know, is an artificial satellite. So 3 scientists of China would be staying over there. They would be doing experiments. Not only that, in future, if some next jump is to be taken, next jump in the sense, let's suppose you are planning to launch something on moon or onto Mars, then space station is one place from where the communication is possible. Right? Chali. So this is about China's space station, right? It is 1/5 the mass of the International Space Station. ये 1/5 है as compared to the International Space Station, right? And moving ahead, अब आती है एक important information. Few days back, around I guess in the last week or around 3-4 days back, there was a news. The ISS got hit by space debris. How dangerous is it? Right? Means ISS International Space Station को कुछ आके टकराया, right? और ये कुछ नया नहीं है. It is nothing new. This has happened many times. Well, if you know, then earlier there was a damage, a very minute damage to the glass of the observatory of International Space Station. But recently, the damage has actually been done to the robotic arm, the robotic Canadian arm, right? And that again has been done by space debris. तो भाई ये space debris क्या चीज है, इसके बारे में जानते हैं, but उससे पहले देखिए. So a small piece of orbiting junk hit the International Space Station, जहां पे 6 means जो astronauts हैं वो रह रहे थे, scientists रह रहे थे, and this thing actually happened, and it means in such a manner that a space debris got hit to the window of the cupola observation module. Means there was an observation module where scientists or astronauts used to stand and you used to watch. तो उसके ग्लास को एक सर्कुलर चिप ने आके मींस एक डेब्रिस ने आके हिट किया, जिस कारण से वहां पे एक मींस डैमेज हो गया. But recently the damage was big. The recent clash which took place a week back was big. Means this is an older one. You can see a puncture in the glass, a small puncture in the glass, but this is an old one. In the newer one, if you see, the damage is big. Means you can see the hole. This robotic arm is there, right? And it has been punctured. The robotic arm is working. No problem with that. But this is a cause of concern. If a small piece of debris moving at very high speed can create a small puncture in the strong robotic arm which was functional from past so many years, then that means in future a slightly big space junk can damage the whole ISS, that is International Space Station. That means even ISS is not safe, that is International Space Station is not safe, Then what about Earth? We say that okay, meteors and asteroids, they are in habit of falling onto the Earth, right? And we are safe. कोई भी बड़ा पत्थर आके अर्थ से नहीं टकराएगा, बिकॉज अगर वो आएगा तो हम उसको शूट कर देंगे और वो हवा में ही उसके फ्रेगमेंट्स चले जाएंगे. वेल, दैट इज नॉट द केस. For many of these heavenly bodies which are in habit of visiting to the earth, exploding them with some nuclear bomb is not the solution. And because it will again result in lot of debris in the space. So this is the resultant of one small debris which damaged the Canadian robotic arm of International Space Station recently. Now the question is, why these things are dangerous? Well, anything colliding with the space station can cause real damage because their speeds are very high, because of the pull of the planets and the sun. They are moving on a very high speed of 34,000 kilometers per hour. Huge speed. Now with that speed, when they hit any particular thing, it is even faster than a bullet, right? So debris greater than 1 centimeter could penetrate the shields of station's crew modules. Means अगर 1 सेंटीमीटर से बड़ा debris होगा तो वो ISS को पंक्चर कर सकता है पूरा का पूरा, और अगर कोई उससे भी बड़ा होगा तो वो पूरा का पूरा स्पेसक्राफ्ट को उड़ा सकता है. मींस 10 centimeter is hardly this much. So this much of debris moving on such a high speed can even explode a spacecraft or a satellite, right? Now the question is, and solar arrays, means this ISS which you have seen, it has got solar panels which are in habit of providing electricity and other means electric parts are there. So they can also be damaged with these chips. That is the space debris. But the question is, what is space debris and why is it dangerous for space exploration? Now, if you know that mankind is in habit of experimenting, बहुत सारे सैटेलाइट भेजे गए, बहुत सारे रॉकेट्स भेजे गए, रॉकेट्स ऊपर जाते हैं, डीफ्रेगमेंट होते हैं, उनके कुछ पार्ट्स स्पेस में ही उड़ते रहते हैं, and all this results in space debris. So space junk or space debris is any piece of machinery or debris left by humans in space. जब ह्यूमंस कुछ स्पेस में छोड़ आते हैं परमानेंटली और वो वहीं पे घूमता रहता है, उसको स्पेस डेब्रिस कहते हैं. इट कैन रेफर टू बिग ऑब्जेक्ट्स लाइक डेड सैटेलाइट्स, राइट, और इट कैन ऑल्सो रेफर टू स्मॉलर थिंग्स लाइक बिट्स ऑफ डेब्रिस, पेंट फ्लेक्स, मींस पेंट कहीं से उतर गया हो कहीं किसी जगह से किसी रॉकेट का, या छोटे छोटे पार्ट जो रॉकेट्स के हवा में घूम रहे हैं और वहीं स्टकअप है. Now the question is how big this is, means ये space debris है कितना? Well, one of the image released by NASA shows that this much of space debris is surrounding the Earth. Means जो NASA ने फोटो भेजा है, शेयर किया है, वो ये शो करता है कि इतना space debris ऑलरेडी वहां पे एग्जिस्ट करता है, अर्थ के आसपास है, राइट, और अर्थ को घेरे हुए. Now why is this space junk disastrous? ये इतना खतरनाक क्यों है? Well, there are about 2500 right now. There are more than 2500 active satellites, right? Means Earth के आसपास more than 2500 active satellites are there, और 3000 पुरानी सैटेलाइट जो वर्क नहीं करती वो भी वहीं घूम रही. So these non-working satellites are actually bigger space debris. And उसके अलावा 34,000 pieces हैं space junk के जो 10 सेंटीमीटर से बड़े हैं और millions of smaller parts हैं. तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि स्पेस में कितना कूड़ा है. So that means human race, after spoiling the environment of Earth, is now spoiling the space. They have gone to the space many times and they have left the debris or the garbage over there because there are no dustbins. ऐसा तो है नहीं किसी डस्टबिन में वो सारा का सारा कूड़ा फेंक दे जैसे अर्थ पे है. So that means now we are in process of contaminating the outer space also. We have contaminated moon, we have contaminated Mars, God knows what next. But अगर आप इसको numbers में देखें जो मैंने आपको बताया, 1 in 10,000 risk of collision will require a debris avoidance maneuvering. Means if a spacecraft or rocket has to move, they need to keep in mind where are the old satellites, where are the current satellites, where is the space debris, क्या वो space debris 10 सेंटीमीटर से बड़ा तो नहीं है, तो उसके बीच में से उनको निकलना है, अपना ट्रेजेक्टरी बनाना है ताकि कोई चीज उनको हिट ना करे, और कहीं गलती से किसी स्पेस डेब्रिस ने उनको फ्लाई करते हुए हिट कर दिया, देन द रिजल्ट विल बी डिजास्ट्रस. नाउ यू मस्ट बी थिंकिंग, इतना बड़ा रॉकेट, इतनी हाई स्पीड, उसको एक छोटा सा डेब्रिस कैसे इंपैक्ट कर सकता है? वेल, आई विल शेयर अ स्टोरी ओवर हियर. यू टेल मी हु इज दिस लेडी. Who is this lady? Tell me who is this lady? Quickly. Can you recognize who is she? Okay. Anyone from your and from student side? Can you recognize who is she? Who is she? ये lady कौन है? Indian origin की. Okay. Aditya, very good. She is Kalpana Chawla, who ultimately died. She was an astronaut. Basically, she studied in Chandigarh and then went to NASA and then created so many records over there. And ultimately, when she was returning along with 6 other members, all 7 members were burnt to death alive while re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. So ये ट्रेजेडी इसलिए हुआ था क्योंकि एक छोटा सा टाइल रॉकेट से हटा पड़ा था और मैं आपको उसकी कहानी बताता हूँ. So Kalpana Chawla died on 1st February 2003 in the space shuttle Columbia along with 6 other crew members when Columbia disintegrated over Texas during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Now, STS-107 का ये 28th mission था and Kalpana Chawla, after performing so many experiments in the ISS, in the space station, and they were returning. And when they were returning, suddenly, because of the removal of, means एक foam आके दूसरी जगह पे लग गया, जिस कारण से insulation हट गई, heat insulated tiles रहती हैं वहाँ पे, and those one tile was missing, because of which सारा का सारा accident हुआ, and it was so disastrous that all these 7 members were burnt alive. Now you can very well imagine how dangerous it is. Means they entered into the Earth's atmosphere safely, they did all their experiments safely, but while returning into the atmosphere, there was an explosion. That's why it is very important that when we are exploring space, हमारा हर कदम सही से चले, और जो हम ये means कूड़ा space में फेंक रहे हैं, that is the space debris which we are creating, we should not be doing that, right? चलिए, इसीलिए बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स शुरू किए गए हैं, बट उससे पहले, before I move on, if any one of you is interested in joining any of the courses at VOS and you want to learn more in terms of NTSE or Olympiads or school Olympiads, then do fill this form. Do fill this form with your credentials, and believe me, you would be getting a call from our side, vdnt.in/VOSMAT. इस गूगल फॉर्म पे जाके आप फिल कीजिए तो आपको कॉल पक्का आएगा और आपका एनरोलमेंट VOS में हो जाएगा. So let's move back to the story. Well, there are many new startups which are thinking of cleaning the space. Yes, cleaning the space. अभी अर्थ क्लीन नहीं हुई, अभी इंडिया क्लीन नहीं हुआ, and we are talking about cleaning the space. So in 2016, Japan's space agency sent a 700-meter tether into the space to try to slow down and redirect space junk. Space junk को अलग-अलग दिशाओं में घुमाने के लिए उन्होंने एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया. In 2018, a device called Remove Debris successfully cast a net around a dummy satellite. उन्होंने एक नेट डाल के एक सैटेलाइट को हिलाने की कोशिश की. Similarly, European Space Agency, that is ESA, has said that by 2025 they are going to send a robot जो क्या करेगा, वो वैक्यूम क्लीनर की तरह वर्क करेगा. It will absorb lot of space debris and then it will move far away from the earth and will explode. Means वो अर्थ पे वापस नहीं आएगा, वो वहीं जाके एक्सप्लोड हो जाएगा, बट अर्थ के आसपास जो डेब्रिस है उसको हटा देगा. So lot many new entrepreneur agencies or entrepreneurs are targeting to work on this particular theme. Even in India, that is, if you see a startup with the name Digantaras, उनका डेब्रिस ट्रैकर है जो छोटी छोटी सैटेलाइट से अल्टीमेटली ट्रैक करेगा डेब्रिस को विद लेजर्स और फिर अल्टीमेटली उसका एक 3D मैप बना के उनको रिमूव करेगा और बताएगा एक्चुअली कि डेब्रिस कहाँ पे है. So many startups are working on this. These days, space exploration is not limited to government agencies. All private agencies are trying to do one thing or the other, right? SpaceX is one out of those, the famous name, you know that very well, right? But why we are discussing, again I am coming back to the same agenda, because our environment is getting polluted and space is also the part of our environment. We should be concerned about that. We know that 5th of June is World Environment Day, and as a responsible citizen, or as a responsible person, you should be doing your bit for the World Environment Day, and that's why we are organizing a competition. You can participate in this competition. You can you can create a drawing, a painting, or you can click your pic while growing a plant, or you can even speak few lines, and you can upload the same on the Google form mentioned in the pic, that is vdnt.in/venvironmentday, venvironmentday, and we shall be showcasing all these entries who would be participating in the World Environment Day, and the best would be getting a surprise from our side. So do participate in this World Environment Day competition. Now moving back, why is it so important to set up life on Mars? भाई ये जरूरी क्यों है? ये जरूरी क्यों है कि हम मार्स के ऊपर लाइफ बनाएं? मीन्स अर्थ के ऊपर अच्छी खासी लाइफ है, बट वाई वी आर इंटरेस्टेड मीन्स वाई इफ यू से that SpaceX is trying to establish a colony on Mars. Why Elon Musk says that the life should be interplanetary. Interplanetary means सिर्फ अर्थ पे नहीं होनी चाहिए, बाहर भी होनी चाहिए. भाई ऐसा क्यों है? Right? Well, there are few reasons. Firstly, the resources of the earth are limited and someday they are going to vanish. So जिस तरीके से हमारी population बढ़ रही है, there is an increasing demand of energy, food and space, and we need to explore beyond earth now, because earth पे हम बहुत सारा नुकसान कर चुके हैं, बहुत सारी माइनिंग कर चुके हैं, बहुत सारे ट्रीज को कट कर चुके हैं, and our ecosystem has got destabilized. Whatever problems we are seeing these days, which are coming from nature's side to us, are only because क्योंकि हमने नेचर को अच्छे से हैंडल नहीं किया. Well, experts also believe that on Mars there was water, there were flowing rivers, and they were trying to check that how it got changed into such a thing. Means अर्थ पे भी अभी रिवर्स हैं, वाटर है, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कुछ सालों के बाद अर्थ पे भी लाइफ खत्म हो जाए. That's why scientists are interested in learning, in knowing that what has happened with the Mars, so that they could avoid the same thing for Earth. If you follow the news, you must have read that these days Earth is spinning in a faster way. Well, that's a surprise. Actually, the Earth was slowing down. Well, we all know 24 hours में उसका एक spin हो जाता है, right? We all know that, and that spin was slowing down. But suddenly, from past 1 year or so, Earth is spinning fastly. Now, scientists are unable to guess or conclude that why Earth is spinning fastly. Earlier, Earth was slowing down, and now उसका movement तेज हो गया. तो ऐसा क्यों? Maybe it's again a signal that something odd is happening with our universe, and we need to explore other planets so that someday if anything happens wrong on the Earth, then the life should continue on some other planet. You must have heard a story long back that once the Earth was flooded with water, and then there was a saint who took all species in a big ship and took them to other place, और वहां पे जाके सारी species ने flourish किया. Well, that could be the case with Mars also, that in future हो सकता है धीरे धीरे करके हम सभी स्पीशीज को वहां पे लेके जाएं और वहां पे एक डोम बनाएं जहां पे मार्स की कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को ऑक्सीजन में चेंज किया जाए और फिर वहां पे लाइफ बने. यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन पे ऑलरेडी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स भेजे जा रहे हैं. दे आर सेंडिंग squids to the International Space Station for experimentation, and also water bears. Okay, moving ahead. Why we are interested in space exploration? There is one more reason, that is space mining. These planets, these asteroids are full of such metals and minerals which are really very important for human beings. So they want to check कि कहीं कोई और नया एलिमेंट, कोई नया मेटल, नया मिनरल अवेलेबल है या नहीं, या जो पुराने मिनरल भी वहां पे हैं क्या हम उनको वहां पे यूज कर सकते हैं, क्या उनको हम अर्थ पे लेके आ सकते हैं. कैन वी क्रिएट अ सोर्स so that we could transfer those raw materials from those planets to Earth? Well, these are all speculations, but scientists are working on that, many agencies are working on that, and as I've already explained, Mars oxygen experiment says that they would be converting the carbon dioxide of Mars into oxygen so that life could stay over there. Moving ahead, the next reason is space tourism. Space tourism, like you have got vacation these days maybe. So in future, there is a possibility that people who are millionaires, billionaires would be in position to plan a trip to Mars or to Moon. Means हो सकता है ऐसा दिन आए जब आप अपने पेरेंट्स को बोल रहे हैं पापा नेक्स्ट समर वेकेशन में ना मुझे आप मून पे लेके चलना, ठीक है, अब अगला वेकेशन अर्थ पे नहीं मनाएंगे. Well, that could be a case, but space tourism is not far and is already happening and will be happening more often in coming months and years. Okay, so why do we spend so much on space exploration? I hope I have answered that. Why we are spending so much on space exploration? Every country wants to showcase that they are technologically advanced. That's why the colonization of space is taking place. हर कंट्री अपना वहां पे रुतबा बनाना चाहती है. जब नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग गया और उसने लैंडिंग की मून पे तो उन्होंने अमेरिका का झंडा लगाया. नाउ व्हाई दैट वाज द केस? बिकॉज दे वर इंटरेस्टेड इन शोकेसिंग दैट यस अमेरिकans have landed on moon. So it's a race, it's a mad race for space exploration on which we are spending lot many things. But side by side there are many good things which are happening because of this space exploration. Today we are using GPS, that is the global positioning system, accurately only because of this space exploration thing, right? We are in position to find out the solution or medicines for lot many diseases because the experimentation done in the space has actually helped us in knowing many things in a better manner. Medical research के बहुत सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट स्पेस में होते हैं जिससे अल्टीमेटली रिजल्टेंट हमें मिलता है और हम उनको यूज करते हैं अर्थ के ऊपर. So that was something in concern to space and space exploration. We were interested in telling you that our environment and its cleanliness is important. We need to act in a responsible manner and we need to create a backup also. So when we say we are trying to land on moon, we are trying to land on Mars, we are basically trying to create a backup for future races. It is not about you. You are not going to land on moon or Mars, but maybe someday your next generations would be visiting those planets and those satellites. Well, moving on to the end part. Okay, the last point says the outer space is full of various minerals and raw material. I have already explained that. So I am giving you a challenge problem. The challenge problem says which was the first living being sent into space. आपको बताना है सबसे पहले किस लिविंग बीइंग को स्पेस में फेंका गया था और जो बच्चे सही आंसर देंगे उनके नेम्स कल बताए जाएंगे या परसों बताए जाएंगे. Tomorrow we are going to have a live Menti quiz with one of the genius, Olympiad genius, Ravjot Singh. So do participate in Menti quiz tomorrow and I will try my best to share the names of those students जो आज सही आंसर देंगे. आपको आंसर पोस्ट करना है कमेंट्स में. Do post the answer correctly in the comment box with your name, with your class. I repeat, answer to this challenge problem should be posted in the comment box with your name and with your class. Also, if you wish to be the part of Vedantu Olympiad school, the first thing is you should be appearing for Volt, which happens on every Sunday. But for next week, coming week it's on Sunday, next week it's on Saturday. You need to visit olympiad.vedantu.com. You need to register over there and then you are all set to become the part of US अगर आप पेपर अच्छा करेंगे. But if you feel that you are already preparing for Olympia and you have done something good in your academics, then you can always directly fill the Google form. The Google form link is vdnt.in/VOSMAT. vdnt.in/VOSMAT. आप इस Google form पे जाके Google form fill कर सकते हैं and with that also you can be the part of VOS courses. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening and do participate in World Environment Day and keep your environment and earth safe, sound and clean. Bye for now. Take care and keep on learning at Vedantu.